Greetings guys, girls, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well, and I hope that you are fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting for. Recently I was scrolling through Twitter and I was reminded of the existence of the transformed wife. I've done a couple videos on her before, but they were well in the past, so long ago that it's time for an update. But I've not just included tweets from her. I have included some TikToks from people who identify as trad wives, because that is the lifestyle the transformed wife is trying to promote. Not promote. Force upon all women. And so I found some other women who are also trying to force that upon women. It's a conversation that we need to continue having, apparently. I love talking about women who think women shouldn't have rights. It's a really sensical, I don't know if that's a real word, it feels like a real word, position to have. There are women on social media who claim they are Christians, but teach women they don't have to submit to their husbands, they don't have to be keepers at home, and they don't have to dress modestly. Don't learn from them. They are in rebellion to God and His word. The emphasis is on the words have. Like, they teach women they don't have to do those things, because newsflash, no one has to do anything. We can all do what we want. We all have free will, and you shouldn't be forcing your ideas onto other people. If they want to be Christian and promiscuous, or Christian and whatever else, then they're allowed to do that. They could do what they want. You could go on living your trad wife lifestyle. I do not care. Do what you want, do what makes you happy. But the second you try to tell me what I can do, there's a problem. The second you tell other Christian women, I am not a Christian woman, but the second you tell other people of your faith that they're doing it wrong, you lose a lot of respect, because like everyone can do whatever they want, however they want. The Bible is interpreted in so many different ways. You've happened to interpret it incorrectly in your own way. White sugar, white flour, and seed oils are health destroying. Vegetables, fruit, meat, fish, eggs, sea salt, and healthy fats like butter and extra virgin olive oil are health building. Why eat foods that destroy your health when you can eat foods that build up your health? I don't understand where this tweet came from. I don't know when she started tweeting about like being healthy and how that relates to being a trad wife at all. But I always find these things so funny, because like, everything is fine in moderation. Like, eating white flour isn't destroying your health. Seed oils aren't destroying your health. None of it is destroying your health. But as soon as people come on and are like, eat lots of meat, it's really good for you. It's not. The amount of meat that people are consuming in this day and age is way more than you're meant to. And that actually leads to heart disease. So everything is fine in moderation. Ethically, not a fan, I'm very opposed to it. But promoting it as like the healthiest thing above like flour and just sugar and stuff, it's just not true. Eat too much sugar and eat too much meat and you got a similar outcome there. So that's your education of the day. My grandma lived simply and frugally within her husband's milkman salary. She gardened, sewed, reused everything, wasted nothing, cooked food from scratch, bought a goat when she couldn't nurse one of her babies, and was content. Expectations for stuff was low back then. I'm sorry, just for a second, I love she bought a goat when she couldn't nurse her babies. Where the fuck am I meant to keep a goat? Like, I love that that's like a solution that you put out there that like, no, anyone can do that. You don't need baby formula. Baby formula is anti-God. Buy a goat instead. What? Like, everything else you say here is already unrealistic based off of the world we live in today and how capitalism and inflation have moved. But the goat thing stumps me. If you can let me know how to ethically keep a goat in London, I'm willing to hear you out. But also, the key word in this paragraph here is my grandma. You know, back in the day where, because you're not young yourself, back in the day where women were like legally a man's property and they like weren't allowed to work, and also like things were not as expensive and it was actually achievable to live in a one-income household when one person made an average, if not even below average salary, whereas now it's practically impossible. If you're making an average salary, you need 2 people working at that and you're still gonna struggle, especially if you have children. It's just not practical. I don't know why people keep being like, my grandma did it. Yeah. Okay, but this is now. The war on women, birth control, tampons, abortion, divorce, fake nails, cosmetics, 9-to-5 jobs, breast implants, high heels, sunscreen, teeth whiteners. Can you think of any more? All of these, incorrect. The one I'll give rights is 9-to-5. That's war on everyone. Fuck work. That's not just for women. That's for everyone. That's a different conversation. The one that stands out the most to me, though, is sunscreen. Can anyone explain to me how sunscreen fits into this? Sunscreen, helps you to not get skin cancer. You just put it on your skin so that you don't get sunburn. Are you implying that sunscreen's like a vanity thing? Everything on this list is stupid. My second favorite is makeup because she herself wears makeup and that's funny to me. But everything else is odd. But sunscreen, I'm gonna need an explanation for that one. That's the funniest thing I've had all day. So now that we've dipped our toe into the trad wife realm, we've started with an older woman. We're now stepping onto TikTok where the young trad wives are. Are you ready? Are we prepared? Are you ready to look at some 20-something-year-old trad wives who have some weird warped idea of what the 1950s actually looked like?
Give me a slushie.
We're gonna be on for you today?
And can I also have a small blue raspberry slushie?
A sausage McMuffin?
Asking God if I can be alive in the 1950s. But oh dear, she was actually made to be alive in 2021. And it's absolutely devastating because in 2021, women have rights. And rights are bad. We don't want rights. We want to be property. We want to be legally property and be beaten by our husbands and forced to do whatever they say and do whatever they want at all times or face severe consequences. This woman is against women voting. It's weird how many women there seem to be who are anti-women have the vote.
Well, I guess Rocco will never be able to float.
Oh well, too bad. Bye, Rocco.
Why? I genuinely just would really like to have them explain to me why. It's because women are irrational. Men are superior. Why though? I don't get it. The whole women are irrational and controlled by their emotions thing is so funny to me because anger is an emotion and it's what has started nearly every war. Why shouldn't women be allowed to vote? We're people. We live here too. And I would like a say in what happens to me. You can live your life wanting to be controlled by a man if you like. I don't care. I really do not care. But the second you come in and try to tell me I don't deserve to have a say in what happens to me, fuck you. Fuck you. No. Fuck off. I don't care if you're a trad wife. I don't care if you wear the little 1950s fucking house dress and spend your entire life cooking and cleaning and looking after baby and doing shit for your I do not give a single fuck what you do. But don't you dare come into my house and tell me what I am allowed to do and what I can do. Do what you want. I don't want any part in it, all right? Only land-owning men can vote. Not even just men, just land-owning men? Why? I don't get that. That makes no I don't understand. Why only rich men? Why are only rich men allowed to vote? That seems like the worst kind of society to live in ever. We already live in a society in which rich men can do whatever the fuck they want and they rule everything and decide everything. I can't imagine them being the only ones allowed to vote. Oh my God, the only ones allowed to vote, the only ones allowed to run. I know there are a majority of people in power, but at least we got a little bit of diversity in there. Imagine if they were the only ones who could vote. And I will move to the moon, I think. Yeah, no, I already struggle living on this planet. It's like the worst opinion I've ever heard, actually. See, this isn't trad wife. This isn't Christian values. This is just you. She has I don't know what gender her baby is, but she's very proudly raising them with strong gender roles and this idea, and I feel really bad for them already. Fucking, oh my god, there's some weird people in the world, man. There's some weird people. It's 12 p.m. on a Wednesday. I went on my morning walk, got my coffee, went shopping at Ulta, laid out at the pool, and now going home to make my fiance fresh lemon and ricotta pasta, all because I asked for this lifestyle and he provided. Listen, a lot of these women are like, why would you want to work if you could just not work? You're right. Yeah, sure. A lot of women don't want to work. A lot of people in general don't want to work. And that's fucking chill. That's fine. If you can find a situation that works for you in which you don't have to work but can maintain whatever lifestyle that you want to live, fucking go for it, man. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Good for you. Unfortunately, the majority of us are unable to do that. And also, some people find fulfillment in work. Some people love their job. Some people find fulfillment in it. Some people really enjoy doing what they do. That's also really fucking cool. Unfortunately, a majority of people have to work in order to just live. That's fucked up. Capitalism is fucked up and it's ruined everything. If everyone could do this, people would do it. Men, women, non-binary people alike. Everyone should have the option to do that. They don't. So, saying it as though this is a choice saying this as though it's a choice that all women have, and that men should work and provide for their wives, is just unrealistic in today's day and age. Good for you for having a rich husband, man. Good job. But it doesn't happen to most people, so...
Imagine the day when your kids have their own families and their own jobs and their own lives, and you wake up to a complete stranger. That's what happens when you put them before your spouse. If our mothers had put our fathers first, we would be a much different generation. Half of us are the results of broken homes. If we're not showing our children loving and respectful relationships, how can we expect them to model that in the future? Your children may require more attention, but that doesn't mean your husband doesn't come first. Create boundaries with your children. You can teach them to wait without neglecting their needs.
That might be one of the worst TikToks I've watched, actually. I don't think I've heard much worse parenting advice than that. Oh my god. Put your husband ahead of your children. Don't do that. Don't do that. Always put your children first. Absolutely. Your husband is a fucking grown adult. He can look after himself. He should also be putting his kids first. Right? Your kids come first. End of. I don't care. You have kids, they're your number one priority. I'm sorry, but they are. You chose to have kids, you have to prioritize them. Your husband is an adult, he can handle himself. He should also be looking after his kids, actually. You shouldn't be looking after your husband and your kids. He should be looking after himself and your kids. You can look after yourself and your kids. Unless there are specific needs that your husband has, like medical needs or anything like that, obviously you should look after him, and you know what I mean. Don't create boundaries with your children so that you can support your husband more. Oh my god, don't do that. You should raise your kids to see what a healthy relationship looks like. Yeah, you should. And the healthy relationship is having an equal relationship and caring about your kids and putting your kids first so that they can also do that. Because if they feel like neglected their whole entire lives, they're going to accept relationships in which they feel neglected. And that's not cool. That's not ideal. You don't want your child to feel like they are less than. I'm not a parent, but I know that's not how you do it. Don't do that. Your husband does not come first. It goes your kids, you, then your husband. For your husband, it's the same. His kids, him, then you. End of. I don't fucking care. I don't care. Imagine putting your husband before your kids. Pisses me off. That bothers me so much. That makes me like angrier than it maybe should. No, you know what? No, I deserve to be angry about that. Fucking, People who tell housewives they'd be so bored all day with no job are sadly so brainwashed by capitalism. Imagine not being able to think of a million other things to do outside of a traditional job. You could travel, learn a new craft, or language, volunteer on causes you believe in, see your loved ones more, write a book, study something you love for the sake of it, exercise more, read books, etc. The opportunities are endless. Exactly. I 1000% agree. Capitalism has completely fucking ruined our brains. Everything we do, we feel like we have to get validation for, we feel like we have to turn into a job because of how hard it is to live and because of how much pressure there is on us in order to earn money and become wealthy and to contribute to the capitalistic society that we live in. All of our hobbies even turn into things we can capitalize off of. I am extremely guilty of this because my job is doing what I love and sharing things. And so it is difficult, and I do end up trying to capitalize on my hobbies because it's just the position that I've been put in, and a lot of people are like that. People don't want traditional jobs, so they find other outlets and try to make money off of their hobbies, which is really cool until it becomes a job, and then it becomes less fun, and it's hard, it's difficult, but like, again, talking about it as though it's a viable option for everyone is like, it's really not. It's really not. We need to talk about it as though it's something that we should all have the option to do. We should all be able to do that. We should be able to have hobbies that we don't monetize. We should be able to enjoy things. And like, the possibilities are endless. And it is upsetting that we don't see that. But again, not just for women, it's for everyone. And capitalism is shit and we need to dismantle it. You're right, but the position you take on it is wrong. You know? Anyway, yeah, this was Tradwives. I hope that you enjoyed. I'm gonna go now because it's really hot and I'm melting. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. A massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons, whose names are up on the screen right now. And a huge, huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons. Wolf, Toulouse, Bobby, Sparrow, Josh, Mandy, Robbie, Silly, Ikazel, Robin, and Resendo. I love and appreciate you all so, so much. If you would like to become a patron, you can go to the link in the description or patreon.com/savvycat. You get my videos a day early and a bunch of other stuff too. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.